Hello, everyone. May I have your attention? Those at the back, please take a seat. There are still some available down there in the middle. Well, we spent the whole day in this room, and it's great to finally see it being filled in. Welcome to the 5th semi-annual Frankfurt School Demo Day. Today you're going to... Today you're going to see 6 amazing projects and the progress that the teams have made over the last few months. My name is Sviatoslav, and I am a founder myself. My startup, Series Field Check, was born right here at the Entrepreneurship Center, and we even pitched it on the last demo day. Apart from that, I'm the head of the Venture Capital Initiative at Frankfurt School and a 6th semester MPE student. Before we begin, I will give you a quick rundown of today's events. We're going to begin with a few welcoming speeches, followed by a special keynote speaker, and finally, we're going to have the main event for which you came. After that, we're going to wrap up, and we're going to have a bunch of great snacks and drinks. But before proceeding to the main event, I would like to thank specific people for coming. Our president, Niels Stieglitz, could not be with us tonight, but we still thank him for providing this venue. However, our vice president, Dr. Christian Landgau, is with us tonight. He's the professor of strategy and innovation. And without further ado, let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Well, dear ladies and gentlemen, as you said, welcome to the 5th demo day here at Frankfurt School. It is wonderful to have a full house, a truly full house of bright-minded people here on campus on a Tuesday night. This happens very, very rarely. And looking at your faces, let me ask you a question, or actually 3 questions. How are you? Show me. Yeah. How's your energy level? Everyone excited about tonight? So show me with one round of applause how excited you are tonight. All right. Wonderful. We'll repeat that later on. Good start. Well, dear ladies and gentlemen, when kicking off an entrepreneurship event, it is common, in particular for a professor, to mention the importance of entrepreneurship for creating jobs. Cite one or the other or many macroeconomic studies. And, of course, refer to the associated personal financial opportunities of entrepreneurship. And all of that is valid, of course. However, if you allow, I want to use a few minutes of this welcome address to give you a little bit more personal view on what entrepreneurship means to me. And I hope it might serve also for starters for interesting conversations later on tonight. Well, before becoming a professor of strategy and innovation, I went through an education in engineering, chemical engineering to be precise. A field that thrives on the principles of experimentation, creation, and innovation, but also setback, frustration, and in the case of chemistry, literally sometimes explosion. So thinking about that, entrepreneurship is similar to engineering in many ways. Both are about bringing ideas to life, creating something. Both disciplines require truly a vision, an adaptive plan to make things work, and the relentless pursuit of turning that vision into reality, despite all the odds, failbacks, and sometimes explosions. Entrepreneurship and engineering are both about solving problems, about taking a concept, an idea, nurturing it, growing it, letting it mature, and transforming it into something tangible and truly impactful. We as entrepreneurs and engineers, we are pushing boundaries, really pushing boundaries to create value where nothing has existed before. So think about all the great innovators throughout history. They did not just see the world as it was, they imagined what it could be. They dared to dream and, more importantly, they dared to act. The spirit of creating something is at the heart of entrepreneurship and engineering, and every entrepreneurial behavior has the potential to create positive change, to leave a lasting impact in the world. Impact needed more than ever in a highly dynamic world. My personal view on what it means to be an entrepreneur and to drive entrepreneurship forward. Well, dear ladies and gentlemen, at Frankfurt School, we truly believe in fostering and supporting students and alumni with an environment where innovation and entrepreneurship can thrive, both with respect to the supporting infrastructure and at least equally important with respect to the right mindset, thinking about things. We do this not only because, to be honest, these days business schools do that and it's kind of expected from us. It is in our institutional DNA to do that as Frankfurt School, or as Bank Academy initially. Frankfurt School is an entrepreneurial organization since our foundation. We are today an entrepreneurial business school. And with that, we are actually, from the mindset where it really matters, in addition to the supporting infrastructure, different from other business schools who are in the business and take it more as an administrative task to support entrepreneurial activities of students, for example. For 3 years now, we are now focusing all of our activities to nurture entrepreneurship in the FS Entrepreneurship Center. And since the entrepreneurial spark can hit you any time in life, we're doing it not only for the current students, we're also doing it for alumni. Every member of the FS community can benefit from the center if they wish to do so, regardless how old they are and how advanced they are into whatever career they have pursued. And over the last few years, the FS Entrepreneurship Center has become a great source of pride for Frankfurt School. The center offers pretty much everything you look for when seeking support and advice. We have incubator programs, accelerator programs, office spaces, creative spaces, workshops, etc. Name it. However, from my perspective, and I'm rather new at this institution, our center is special from others. The center is a center for entrepreneurs run by entrepreneurs. For me, this makes a key difference, and it is reflected in the entrepreneurial outcome that the center has created. We have incubated over 135 startups and raised almost 20 million euros in funding from investors. Great success. Congratulations on that. Now, out of those 175 startups, 70 of them are still active today in their markets. So, if you do the math and believe in the commonly cited statistic, this means that Frankfurt School startups are actually more successful than M&A transactions, which fail more than half of the times. Unless, of course, these transactions are conducted by FS alumni, then we need to talk about that again. Dear ladies and gentlemen, a key element shared by entrepreneurs and business school education is giving back, coming back and giving back. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our alumni who came back today to Frankfurt School as esteemed jury members and as keynote speaker. Thank you very much for joining us today. Your presence really underscores the importance of collaborating between practice and universities and honestly the lifelong bonds of FS community. Thank you very much. Let me also thank Ram and his team from the FS Entrepreneurship Center for organizing the demo day again. This is the accumulating final event of many months of hard work. This is just the peak, a great peak, but the peak. And last but not least, thank you to all the entrepreneurial startup teams from Frankfurt School for all their engagement and hard work. Today, as you mentioned, 6 of these teams have the chance to present themselves in front of the large crowd and pitch for prize money worth of 50,000 euros that they can invest in further growing their ventures. I wish all of you good luck for today. Finally, remember what we did in the beginning, dear ladies and gentlemen. Let's kick off the evening with one more round of applause to everyone involved. Thank you very much to all of you for being here tonight, and welcome again to Demo Day at Frankfurt School.
Thank you very much, Christian. Well, we have many, many distinguished guests with us tonight. And while I cannot name everyone, I do want to extend a few important thank yous. Tonight's Demo Day and the entire Accelerator program wouldn't be possible without the support of our partners. All of this takes money and effort, and it's their contributions which make this possible. We therefore would like to thank Frankfurt School Foundation for providing the prize money sum of 50,000 euros for tonight. We would also like to thank Andreas Lukic and Frank Müller of Rhein-Main Business Angels, as well as Caroline Wagner of Station. And last but not least, all the startups you're going to see tonight were trained at the Accelerator. And for these amazing workshops, we would like to thank Maria Penanen, Marco and Robert from Die Firma, Fabian Landscheid, Daphne Gold-Melchior, Andreas Hong, Marc-André Rousseau, Philip Weber, Ali Naderivarandi, and more than 30 other amazing members of Mentor Madness. Now, let's be honest. Prior to the launch of the Entrepreneurship Center, infrastructure for students and alumni interested in entrepreneurship wasn't quite there. Yet, one individual whose passion is surfing made it all possible. Not even 3 years since its founding, the Entrepreneurship Center to this day has managed to raise almost 20 million euros for the startups, which is an amazing result. Now, with that in mind, let's finally and officially kick off Demo Day by inviting the founder and director of the Entrepreneurship Center. Please welcome dear Ram Shoham.
Wow, so you're in for a surfing story tonight. You know, all the top moments of a surfer's life involve the tube ride. And for those of you who don't know much about surfing, the tube ride is when the wave rolls over the surfer and putting him in a cave. It's an amazing feeling, as you can see with this handsome guy behind me. The tube ride is actually a very rare occurrence. You need the right conditions for it to happen. You need offshore wind, you need the right swell coming in, the wave hitting a very shallow reef, and then you need a surfer who's able to maneuver it. These conditions don't come very often. For me, maybe 5 times every winter. And it's probably 10% of the times that a surfer actually makes it in one piece out of the tube. Most of the times we crash, like entrepreneurs do. A broken bone, a broken rib, sometimes a broken helmet. Nowadays I surf with a helmet. Now, all the top moments of an entrepreneur's career culminate in days like this. I've been an entrepreneur, pitching my startups to investors, pitching my startup to clients, or to an M&A acquisition, an exit scenario. These are really top crucial moments that happen rarely. And it's natural that the entrepreneurs sitting here today feel nervous. And one of them came to me a few days ago and told me, Ram, I don't think I'm ready. So I want to tell you a story. Where's the guy? Never mind. I want to tell you a story about my first tube ride. I started surfing at the age of 6 in this beautiful beach that you saw here. This is my home beach. And 10 years down the road, I never had a tube ride. And I woke up one morning, I skipped school because I heard the surfing conditions would be great. And I was 16. I was the first surfer in the water. It was still dark. And as the sun was rising over the horizon, and there started to be a bit of light, I saw this wave, beautiful big wave coming towards me. And as usual, I started paddling for it. And I'm paddling, and the wave is coming from behind and lifting me. And there comes a critical moment where you need to commit, so you're pushing the board down, you're stepping up, and you're surfing down the face of that wave. And there's the next maneuver in surfing, which is the bottom turn. When you get to the bottom of the wave, you need to do your bottom turn. So I was doing my bottom turn, and I was like, oh. There was a big wall of water ahead of me, like 20 meters ahead. I have two choices. The first unusual choice was I would jump off the board and I just dive under the wave before it crushes me. But at that moment, I remember thinking to myself, and this is a split second, but I thought to myself, it's been 10 years. I have the right board today. I have the right experience. I think I can go for it and make it. So that's the decision I took. And this feeling of letting go, just positioned myself onto the wave and letting that wall of water cover me, you know. And there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and I cannot quite explain the feeling, but it's an extraordinary feeling, and I made it out in one piece, and it was my first completed tube ride, 10 years after I started. Now, what does that have to do with the guy I want to tell him is there's two things I took from this, and it really was a life-changing moment. One is trust yourself and just let go. You are ready. You wouldn't be one of the 6 startups here. We selected you very carefully, and you really have what it takes. You have the right equipment, meaning the right team. You have the right experience, you've did your research, and this is why you earned this place on the stage tonight. So just let go. And the second thing is, when I completed my first tube ride, it put me on a new level, on a level where I could actually see my surfing career come to a reality. And I hope this happens for you guys today. There's a lot of waves here. There's a big wave for you here with investors, potential business partners to make a change to your startup for the next level. So enjoy it, and it's been really a pleasure working with the startups of the 5th demo day of Frankfurt School. A big round of applause to you guys. 17. I've ran 17 accelerator programs in my life. This is the number 17. And I have to admit, this was really extraordinary and unique, this 17th one. I have never seen any batch of startups make such an exponential progress in so few weeks that it's been amazing. It's, of course, the great entrepreneurs, but I also owe it to the mentors that have been with us. And very important, it's not a one-man show. I have a team. Gautam, please stand up. Christina, Franz, and Ludwig. We worked hard. It was tough. Christina, you're going to be in bed for the next few days. She lost her voice. Don't talk to her tonight. And really, thank you very much, guys. Have a great evening and a great accelerator program. Be the judge of what we've done here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ram. And on this very entrepreneurial note, we do have a special keynote speaker who the older professors in the audience probably know as a student. That's because he did his bachelor's at Frankfurt School. But later, he became the founder and CEO of the now famous Fintiba, a specialized fintech hybrid which offers everything internationals need in one convenient solution. Please welcome Bastian Krieghoff.
Thanks a lot for the kind introduction, and it's great to be here. My name is Bastian Krieghoff, like you mentioned. I'm 40 years old. I'm married. I live in Frankfurt, or Eastern Frankfurt, with my wife and my dog, and I studied at Frankfurt School from 2008 to 2012, so it's quite a while ago. Back in my days at Frankfurt School, entrepreneurship and startup wasn't a big thing at Frankfurt School or even in society. And I'm really amazed what developed here at Frankfurt School and how society and also Frankfurt School have changed. And this will be my topic today, change. As Fintiba, we changed the life of 400,000 students in the last years. And our vision is to be the leading financial provider with tailor-made financial products for internationals in Germany. We're the market leader for blocked accounts and guiding internationals to Germany. Before we started, only Deutsche Bank was offering the blocked account. The international students among you will know what it is. For the Germans, it's a special purpose bank account, which you need for your visa as kind of a guarantee for the German government to show that you are able to pay for your living expenses in Germany while you study. And in the end, you can say no blocked account, no visa, no studying in Germany. The blocked account by Deutsche Bank 10 years ago was fully paper-based and absolutely intransparent. It was a hell of a process. Some students even needed to travel to another country to open a blocked account because there were no branch of Deutsche Bank in every country. And it took 6 weeks, sometimes 6 months to open this blocked account. And a lot of students needed to postpone their start of studies in Germany because the account was not ready on time, which is quite annoying. And imagine your big dream is to go abroad and study there, make career. You got all the documents you need, language certificate, the admission of your university, and all this required stuff. And then there is a stupid financial product which blocks you or blocks your dreams. This is really annoying. That's not good. And we made the process fully online and transparent. We reduced the opening time from the 6 weeks, 6 months, to, in 2017, 6 days. Today we are at 6 minutes, so if you like, you can open it right now and have it ready before my speak is ended. And so nobody needs to be afraid anymore that their studies delays due to a not ready blocked account. And yeah, what should I say? The clients really loved it. We had more than 10,000 customers in the first year, which is a huge number if you're a team of 6 people doing more or less everything. In the first year, everybody of us did customer support. I was sitting there in the evening answering the phone. Yes, we are real. Because it requires a lot of trust to send 10,000 euros to a company abroad, which you never had heard of before. And yeah, during the nights, we were checking passports to identify the customers, and was really, let's say, a hell of a ride and a crazy time, but it was cool. And it changed not only the life of our customers, it also changed the life of my team and mine, because you really need to develop yourself and change a lot during that time. And in the time before an entrepreneur, I worked as a manager for a private bank in Frankfurt for the executive of the private client unit. And I was on a way to become an executive by myself. I was responsible for the strategic development, controlling, digitization of this unit. Summed up, I was on a great way, thanks to Frankfurt School. I was important, I earned good money, and I really liked what I did, and I was kind of good at it. But then when I was 27, I was diagnosed with a really rare but potential deadly heart disease, which is kind of a shock in a young age, if you wake up and get a message like this. And I was really working a lot during that time. And then I came to a full stop. So you have a heart surgery, you got the recovery and all the stuff. And in the end, they implemented me like an ICD, and now I'm safe. And I don't want to bore you with medical stuff, but why do I tell you this? If you're in a situation like this, then you start to reflect and to recognize or understand how life or how short life really can be. And I myself ask myself, what do I really want to do with my life? Do I want to go this way ahead? Like I said, I had a great job, and my colleagues were great, my bosses were great. Everything was nice, but during this reflection, I recognized my work never had a real impact or changed things to the positive. Was mainly political work to make somebody else richer. And that's not really fulfilling if you recognize this. And that's one of the things I would really love to give you on your way, especially young entrepreneurs or people who think about becoming an entrepreneur. It's really worthy to sometimes take a step back from where you are right now and ask yourself, what do I really want to do with my life? And in 20, 30, or 40 years, which would be the thing where I would really be proud of? And like I said before, during the time in the bank, I was responsible for the digitization of this private client unit. I saw a lot of startups in the fintech area who tried to change things, and a lot of them pitched at my desk to cooperate with the bank or to win them as a client. And a lot of them had really great ideas. But at the same time, I saw a lot of them struggling, because it's not an easy way to found a startup and build your own business. And this is also part of my journey with Fintiba. Fintiba, as such, was my third attempt for a business. I tried 2 different other approaches before finding Fintiba. Did it beside my job. And it took quite a while before I found this Fintiba approach, and then I get all in. The other 2 tries, they were really not successful, because the problem was they did not really solve a problem. And if you want to be successful, you really need to solve a problem. And then I asked myself, okay, where can I really solve a problem? And I remembered my times going abroad. I worked in Singapore, in China, in Switzerland, studied in Indonesia, and it was always a bureaucratic nightmare. And if the bank wouldn't have given me a colleague to guide me through all these processes and to support me, I'm not sure if I wouldn't have ended up in a Chinese prison for signing something stupid. So crossing borders is really hard. And I started to do research about the problems of migration to Germany. And then I found this blocked account, which I told you about. And remember, it was my third attempt. I was really frustrated with the first and second approach, so that I nearly stopped my entrepreneurial journey, because 2 times, 2 years spent. you really ask yourself, why should I do that? But my wish to make a change was too big in the end. I really wanted to change things. And now with Fintiba, we really changes lives in a positive manner, and this is great. And after doing this blocked account thing, we also improved process for health insurance, which is really complicated. If you want to study at a governmental university, you need a governmental health insurance. If you go to a private university, you often need a private health insurance. If you do a study preparation course or language course before, you need another private health insurance. So it's really complicated, and in the end, the perfect example for Germany being German. And it doesn't end with insurance. If you come to Germany, you need to take care of a lot of bureaucratic stuff. You need to register yourself at the Einwohnermeldeamt. You need an Aufenthaltsgenehmigung. You need to pay these TV tax, etc. pp. So we developed a companion that really guides students and experts on their way to Germany. And this changed and simplified migration to Germany. And we do not only have changed the blocked account and insurance industry and migration to Germany, Fintiba also changed during the last years. We started with 6 people in 2015, and now Fintiba and its sister companies, we have around 200 employees. This by itself requires a lot of change, because you need to develop your culture, your processes, structures within the company, the way you work together, make decisions, communicate. That all differs a lot if you have like 10, 100, or even more people. And most startups and companies fail on the way of scaling with all these changes and hurdles, because growing and changing can be very hard and painful. For example, in 2018, I had the idea of founding an own bank. And we started a project, and most of the people said, okay, now he's finally really going to be crazy. And it was really tough in the beginning, because that's a big thing. You need a sustainable business approach for your bank. The licensing with BaFin and ECB, it's really a hell of a process. You need financing, because founding a bank requires at least 20 million euros for your regulatory capital, for the setup and all the stuff. And I talked to a lot of VCs during that time, and they all loved the case, but we always had one problem. They asked, what are your exit plans? And I always said, I don't have an exit plan, and I don't want to have one. I like what I do, and that's I want to do it for the next decades, and I don't want to change my entrepreneurial approach. And they always replied, okay, but my fund got a fixed term, and I need to pay back my investors. My answer was always, okay, that sounds like a you problem. But it delayed the process of founding a bank. So also there, I nearly gave it up after a time. But I talked to a lot of my mentors and peers regarding next steps, potential strategy, and that really helped a lot. And it was important to me to mention this. That's one of the reasons why the Entrepreneurship Center at Frankfurt School is really a great institution, and why it really has an impact. You can get in touch with other people trying to start a business. You have the chance to find mentors and other experienced founders to help you on your way. And it's really a long and a hard way. And without the network and supporters, I would not have been here in this situation talking to you about the last 10 years. So focus and finding the right peers and mentors for you, that's really important if you're a young startup. And try not to find the ones who say it's impossible. Look for supporters who think in solutions and not in problems. That's really important. And beside the Fintiba business on the bank, we also have a credit business. Most of you know a banking balance sheet has two sides, active and passive. And Fintiba with the client's deposit is a passive side of the balance sheet. And on the active side, you usually have treasury or credit business. And we also searched for a really long time to find something which is suitable, which is low risk. And at the end, we entered the market for small ticket export financing, which is fully guaranteed by the German government, or for 95%, so your risk is pretty low. And with this approach, we again we fill a gap and change an industry, because at the moment there were no real offering. And we help importers in developing countries to buy German machines and improve their market position and the economy in general in their home countries. So again, the work has a positive impact and changes the life of people. And for me, it took until 2022 to find the right investors for the founding of the bank and for the next chapters of Fintiba. The application was in 2022, and we received it finally last year. So it was a journey of 6 years from the idea until the execution. Why, again, do I tell this story? Change isn't a function of itself. It doesn't occur by itself. It needs to be forced. And change needs time. And as an entrepreneur, you need to be patient and consistent if you really want to do a change and change things. But once it happens, it's really great to see. It's very fulfilling. And if you see your own ideas come into reality, I think a lot of you know what I mean. And we changed market structure. We gained a big strategic advantage, and this is really nice. Oh, I forgot to do this. And the change continues. Even after 10 years, changing the blocked account and insurance industry, founding a bank, we still have a lot of change around. We just took over one of our competitors. This is a total new situation for us. And now we need to learn how to integrate 30 additional people, how to implement a new brand, set new structures, do a technical integration. So we again change a lot of things, and I'm really curious to see what is coming in the future. And a lot of people do not appreciate change. They often like fixed and known structures and are afraid of change. This is a personal learning of the last years. As a company, you can only grow if you leave your zone of comfort and change things. Being entrepreneur is challenging and great at the same time. You meet interesting people and grow. No day is like the other. And you learn a lot about yourself and others. If you really want to change things, find a real problem and solve it for the customers. And then you will be successful. And Frankfurt School is a great place for this, to lay the foundation for this exciting journey and gather the most important knowledge, experience, network for the future and career. And I can only say, use a strong fundament to make a change. It's really worth it. Thank you.
I think all of us wants to be where Bastian is right now, especially the 6 startups pitching tonight. By the way, 4 out of the total 6 startups have female founders, which is great. And And just before we begin, I would please like to invite the jury to take their seats. Applause. And please, in no particular order, tell us your names, who you are. Does it work?
I think it works. My name is Martin. I'm currently studying here at Frankfurt School. That's probably the reason why I'm sitting here. So thanks to Ram, I made it direct from the classroom to the jury. Yeah, it's a big honor. Thank you very much. Besides that, I'm a serial entrepreneur. Did some exits, a lot of fails, so I learned a lot. And I'm looking forward to see the pitches from the next generation of entrepreneurs, and toi, toi, toi.
Hi, I'm Bernhard. I did the executive MBA some years ago, and I am a former investment banker, moved to venture capital in Austria, and we now have a small business angel club investing in, I would say, tech-driven early-stage companies and actively support them. I'm now invested in around 12 companies, 5 of them I'm active with, and already interested in the startups.
Hello, I'm Kara. I actually also studied here at Frankfurt School. I did my master's in finance here at Frankfurt School, and now I'm with the World Fund, which is a 300 million climate tech fund. Well, I talk to founders on a daily basis, which is exciting. Almost also ended up co-founding my own startup 2-3 years ago. So also share that perspective a little bit.
Yeah, hi, my name is Jonas. I did my executive MBA here in 2020. So happy to be back. I work in a corporate venture capital unit of a large German chemical company named EnvioTech. We invest in biotechnology, circular economy, energy transition, a couple of those topics. I actually moved to venture capital after my executive MBA, so that is a good relation, I think, back. Did about 25 investments since then. Yeah, happy to be here and look forward to the pitches.
Thank you very much for your introductions. And just as a quick reminder, 50,000 euros today is at the stake. 30,000 euros for the first prize, 20,000 for the second prize. The winning startups will claim this money once they meet matching investments from the outside. And to the investors in the audience, great opportunity to immediately double your money. Now, the jury will make the final decision by the end of the night, and now I would please like the startups' attention. You will have 5 minutes to pitch, which will be followed by 3 minutes of Q&A. If you go over time, I will have to approach you, which is a signal to wrap up. Now, you have your one-pagers. You know what's happening. The first founder was trained as a concert pianist. He has performed solos at München Clavier Podium, and it's this musical experience that inspired him to strive for harmony in large teams. Now he's the founder of an AI startup, Zephior. Round of applause for Tony.
What if I told you I could save you 30 hours per week? What if I told that to every company in the world? The barrier between 30 hours freed up per week and you is RFPs. These are requests for proposal documents. They contain 150 to 300 Q&A pairs that you have to fill out as a company. And if you have 200 of these, you can calculate yourself how much time and resource you have to spend on these. So the reason why RFPs take 30 hours per RFP or per week is because the job of a proposal manager, I can tell you this as an ex-proposal manager, is to analyze the client's requirements, chase after the internal subject matter experts, check the past responses, draft the answers, draft a customized proposals, which can sometimes be 20 to 30 word pages long. You have to gather the evidence documents, which are attachments that are part of an RFP, and you have to go to the supplier portal and submit the RFP. It's an enormous time and resource expenditure that cannot be managed with conventional AI solutions. And it accumulates up to $7.2 billion in the world globally for all companies. So we have the first AI agent for RFPs. It allows you to update your knowledge base, draft proposals, gather the evidence documents, and generate ad hoc data all by itself, fully based on natural language prompts and privately hosted AI models. We've built the AI platform for complex and technical RFPs. Everything is chat-based, from adding data sources to drafting 20 to 30-page customized proposals. It allows you not only to save time, but also win more deals by providing you with pre-RFP, post-RFP analysis. And everything comes with unparalleled security, with database per tenant architecture, and the AI hosted on Swiss and European sovereign cloud. Now let's look at what it costs currently to do proposals and RFPs without Zephior. You have to pay a proposal management team that does this on a full-time basis for a salary for up to $1.2 million in total. You have to use outdated software such as Loopio and Responsive that costs an enterprise team $100K. And then there's the generic AI solutions like ChatGPT and Claude, for which, if you're an enterprise team, you also pay around $5K. And that accumulates up to $1.3 million in annual spend for companies. And our pricing is the following. It's a usage-based model, but based on a monthly SaaS subscription that accumulates up to a year below $1,000. And with this pricing, you get unlimited users and all features on every model. And with this business model, we're targeting a market of $140 billion in TAM with a growth rate of 15.4%. So our team is 8 people with 3 full-time founding team members, including Ines, Sebastian, and myself. We bring a synergy of domain experts, software experts, and serial entrepreneurs, and also have the technical governance as well as business advisory in our board. So in the last 6 months, we've launched successfully our beta, and is currently being actively used by Ripple. We've done our cybersecurity audit, and we have 50 more enterprise leads on the pipeline. And then in the next 6 months, we're going to launch the actual product after testing it with early adopters, apply for a trademark, and also scale to broader Switzerland and Europe. And this is precisely why we're today raising 300,000 euros with the aim to deliver Europe's best AI agent for due diligence. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Tony. I think we have some minutes for Q&A.
So thanks for the pitch. Very impressive, very good structure and story. I've seen some RFP management tools already, like OneUp, Loopio, and so on. And for me, it would be interesting to understand a little bit more about the technology and the difference to existing tools, especially also in terms of what kind of data sources you use and how do you ensure reliability then?
We use a retrieval augmented generation architecture based on past proposals with a recency bias, so that most recent RFPs are taken into account with a higher bias when producing AI-generated answers. And we also have external knowledge base integrations, which some of these RFP tools don't have, like Google Drive, SharePoint, and in the future, other agents that we're going to integrate into the platform. And we differentiate between long-term and short-term knowledge. You have a vector database for the general long-term knowledge of all the data, but then you also have project-specific data. And everything is natural language-based, which is a differentiator that you can tag the attachment to be taken into account with this response in this cell. So it's a mix of long-term and short-term storage.
So may I add another question? First of all, congrats to your pitch. It was really amazing. What would be of interest is which target group is your favorite one, and did you already have the chance to validate it?
So our target group is enterprises. With RFPs also comes RFIs and due diligence questionnaires, because enterprises have usually 3 to 6 months of sales cycles. And we cater to all sizes of companies in primarily 4 industries: in technology, insurance, services companies like KPMG or the Big Four, as well as the government industry, because contractors also submit RFPs and proposals to governments when they apply for work. So we cater really to everybody, but for the business go-to-market, we validated the solution with technology companies primarily that are selling to other businesses in a B2B context.
I think I have time for one more question, if anyone would like to, or we can.
Maybe one more question around your pricing. You mentioned that the majority of growth, I think, is really coming from expanding to new customers. I was wondering, once you're in a customer, is there any opportunity to grow within a customer through adding services?
Yeah, so the background behind our pricing is because you cannot predict the number of RFPs over the next year. So we want to make it usage-based so that when there are seasons for RFPs, you can actually do them and only pay for that period. And we're based on the number of tokens you consume, which means you can purchase additional tokens on top. And that works well for us because it's a natural language-based solution, which means there's always AI in the back, which is the primary cost of source of cost for us as well. So you can purchase tokens in bundles, you can purchase it monthly or annually basis, for which we then give discounts as well.
Right, I think that's all we can have time for. Well, the next startup was founded by someone who evacuated civilians from war zones for a living, and a successful tech founder from across the globe. Please welcome Moritz and Kashish, CrisisFit.
Thank you.
This is Shoham. They make high-precision machine parts with over 200 years of company history. They represent the typical Mittelstand we all know and love. Out of nowhere, they were hacked. Overnight, their entire system was encrypted. They couldn't invoice, they couldn't operate. In an instant, everything was at risk. When a company isn't ready for a cyber attack, this is what usually happens. A lack of preparation and bad decisions leads to insufficient documentation. This makes you liable, and your insurance refuses to pay. Within 6 weeks, Shoham lost 50% of its enterprise value and had to file for bankruptcy.
And the thing is, Shoham is not alone. Crisis risk has increased by almost 800% since 2019. This includes natural disasters, supply chain disruptions, as well as geopolitical risks like Ukraine. This is why large enterprises like Google or Volkswagen spend more than 5 million euros per year to prepare. But medium-sized businesses, they simply cannot afford that. And they cannot afford that because they currently have 3 bad options. A, you can hire a consultant, but he doesn't really do your tasks, and it's a lot of work to just prepare. Second, you can buy expensive software to automate certain tasks, like alarming or monitoring, but you need multiple of them, and you need very specialized trained users. Or third, you can do it in-house, but this is super inefficient because you don't have a crisis every day, and also, there are not enough available today. We want to change that. Meet CrisisFit. CrisisFit is an AI-enabled automation platform which combines everything you need to prepare and react to a crisis. Our setup rivals Fortune 500 companies without the Fortune 500 price tag. And the best part, we automate most things, reducing 3,000 hours of work down to just 60. So, how does it work? Basically, during onboarding, you receive the personalized crisis management plan, and we jointly define your crisis management team. Afterwards, the team members gain critical skills through e-learning and simulations, and if there's a crisis, you have a selected pool of industry leaders who support you guaranteed in a crisis. All of this is automatically documented to prove to your insurance companies as well as authorities that you are diligent and compliant. With this, we reduce costs by 90% compared to existing solutions, thus making true resilience finally available for medium-sized businesses. And the thing is, the industry loves our idea. With our first paid pilot with TUI Germany, we reduced the 70,000 euro audit to just 1 day of AI-enabled support. Also, we are currently in the talks of getting a co-development project with TUI as well, because not only medium-sized businesses face this inefficiency, but also large enterprises do as well. And the timing is also just right. With new EU regulation coming this year, 120,000 companies have to implement crisis management or face harsh punishment and personal liability. We are uniquely positioned because most providers focus on the IT security, while we enable medium-sized businesses to make the right decisions when it counts most. And everything else has already failed. With all of these companies being regulated in an existing 21 billion euro market, we tackle a 350 million euro opportunity by serving 5,000 businesses in the next 5 years. We are supported by an extensive team of experts, but Kashish and I, we're not first-time founders. We both had our successful businesses in the past. While she has built and scaled a B2B tech startup in the past, I have worked for some of the world's largest companies as a freelance security expert. Our advisory boards combines more than 150 years of industry experience. That's why we're raising in total 1.5 million euros in seed funding to continue building our product and successfully entering the market. With that, we will be able to finish developing our automation platform and be cash flow positive by the end of 2026. You can find more about us by scanning this QR code. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the pitch. I'm very curious to which extent you have done customer validation in the market in terms of how much is a customer willing to pay for the solution, because it's only not like until the crisis hits that the customer needs to pay. So to which extent is he willing, to pay this money in advance for a couple of years where potentially the crisis does not hit?
So the issue is usually you have to prepare for a lot of money. And you can expect a crisis currently every 2.5 years. Meaning right now you are expected to pay 1.5 million euros, 1.2, and then the crisis management needs to make up the money for it to be worth it. Right? And if we reduce that cost, we can make this more affordable for smaller businesses which have less damages. And that's the entire purpose of it. And we only target companies which are larger than 50 million top line anyway. So I think we make the quota. And we also develop only with industry. Okay, and when, for example, assuming there's not a crisis in a year, is there any additional value that the software offers to the customer? Yes, so one thing is actually compliance. There's lots of regulation coming. We have DORA for banking, we have NIS2 for critical infrastructure, and we have also CER additionally for critical infrastructure. And this is mandatory. You get audits similar to GDPR, and we provide reportings, and we just reduce managing costs, basically. 3,000 hours is currently planned with the code development per year.
Thank you.
And can you explain a bit again? I mean, CrisisFit is for managing the crisis, but you mentioned like a lot of companies focus on cybersecurity and also the example you had with Shoham. So how do you work on preventing like the hacker attack, for example? Is that also part of the tool?
Yes and no. So what you can think of basically is that you are required to look into the future. It's called horizon scanning in regulatory things. If there's something is happening, could be China invading Taiwan or whatever, something different happening in the future. We provide monitoring tools for that, which is very important. We also work with data providers to give you risk data of if there's a current attack wave or geopolitical stuff if that's happening. So that is also something we provide. Yeah.
All right, I think that's all we have time for. But thank you, Moritz. Thank you, Kashish. Well, the next founder literally had to bike to the bookstores to fulfill his customer orders. And that's especially impressive for a tech startup. Welcome, Jonathan from READO.
The most successful consumer platforms, whether in social media, e-commerce, gaming, they all share one key advantage that makes them truly valuable and defensible. It's not their technology. Features can be replicated. Certainly not their designs. It's their communities. They have created ecosystems where users create content that continuously enhances the platform's value, as well as engage with each other, driving network effects and high switching costs. Now imagine applying these principles to the book market, a massive industry still dominated by individual decision-making rather than community-based models. We're here to change that. Our mission is to build the first truly community-driven readers platform, transforming how books are discovered, tracked, bought, read, reviewed, and published. By integrating community at every level, we create powerful synergies and we make books more interactive and engaging than ever before. And this is how we do it. READO is the social media platform for book lovers. Today, there are already 1.2 million authentic book reviews on the platform. That's 65,000 new reviews added each month. Users can also rate the mood of a book. For example, how funny, how emotional, how thrilling a book is, and this makes it a lot easier for others to pick the right read. And reading doesn't have to be a solo experience anymore. On READO, you can chat within the book. Every book has a discussion feed where comments are linked to specific page numbers, and this ensures a spoiler-free reading experience. Our vision, user-generated content, not just for every book, but on every page. But READO is more than just community features. We provide the essential tools that readers need. For example, manage your library of physical and digital books in one place. Track your progress to receive motivational stats. And it's working. Our user base has been growing to 140,000 monthly active users, all organically, no paid marketing. To finance our community growth, we have introduced premium features for advanced tracking and more motivational stats, and the option to offset paper consumption by planting trees. Since launching READO Premium 60 months ago, our monthly recurring revenue has been growing to 38,000 euros per month. To accelerate this, we're soon going to launch a web app that automatically creates landing pages for millions of books. And those landing pages, they will be enriched with our user-generated content, with the 1.2 million book reviews. And this will make us highly discoverable on Google to bring in more organic traffic. This year, we're also going to integrate another business model, the possibility to buy the book directly within the app, because it makes sense, and we earn a 30% commission on the sale, which is also pretty nice. But the true differentiator behind this is that users can select a blogger at checkout, making sure they receive a commission on the sale. And this will incentivize all bloggers on TikTok, on Instagram out there, to promote READO and their own READO profile. In the upcoming years, we also plan to integrate an ebook and an audiobook subscription, enriched with our user-generated content directly within the books, as well as the possibility for authors to share pre-published books, where the community provides real-time feedback while reading, generating valuable data to guide publishing decisions. And this allows us to become a data/community-driven publisher and to invest in the most promising titles to create our own Netflix originals, but for books, of course. The market potential behind this is massive. The European and the US book market account for a 54 billion euro revenue, with nearly 50% coming from online sales and digital formats. To execute on this vision, we require the right expertise on board. I lead the business side, leveraging my background from Frankfurt School. My two co-founders, Michael and Andreas, come from a strong technical background, and this allows us to build everything in-house. We also employ 2 full-time app developers, as well as working students to handle social media and customer support. This year, we focus on strengthening our position in Germany while testing paid growth channels, and by the end of the year, we aim to scale globally and are therefore looking for the right growth investor. So, if you share our vision of a community-driven book market, let's connect.
All right.
Thanks for the pitch. These kind of marketing-driven, multi-sided platforms are usually only possible with, I would say, a huge amount of capital. So could you a little bit elaborate on the strategy, market entry strategy for the next years? Because I can imagine that there are also language barriers going into other countries. So do you focus on the DACH market, or is there any specific other market which is also interesting?
Yeah. So right now we're only focused on the DACH market because our platform is focused based on that. And we managed to master a lot of virality features. So building all these community features, for example, the tracking. You see a conventional thing happening on social media is that people post their runs. For example, I ran a 10-kilometer run, and they posted in their Insta story. And we actually saw the same thing happen on READO. So people post on Instagram, hey, I read this many pages this week. And so we accelerated this process because we thought, hey, other users posting on Instagram in their stories about READO is free marketing for us. So we integrated this virality function, and there's a template within the app that you can generate. There's an in-app push notification that directs you to this template, and with one click, you can add your stats to your Insta story. And this is happening every week. Every week we see hundreds of Insta stories, and this is how the word of mouth starts, and this is one of the mechanisms that propelled us to the 140,000 monthly active users.
I think we have time for one more question.
My question a little bit looking forward. You said how you want to grow and that you want to scale. You also showed a little bit the people who are working. So what are you expecting on cash need for the future to make this business grow until end of the year, so to say, when you want to scale it globally? Because so far, I think you manage it pretty well with your current users.
Yep.
But how does it look into the future for the next, until end of the year, so to say?
Yeah. So right now we're actually close to break even with our current cost structure. That's the reason why we only look for small tickets right now to break this liquidity gap and also to start testing the growth channels, the paid channels. And once we got the unit economics bulletproof, we can really communicate the amount of ticket that we would need to, for example, go into the French and to the Spanish-speaking market.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Jonathan. Now, The next startup has a very special logo, which was inspired by both technology and nature. The founder began playing with circuit boards at the age of 10, and the habit stuck. Please welcome Adrian from EnvioTech. And Florian. And also Florian.
Hi everyone. Our journey started almost 2 years ago, when on the trip to school and back, we noticed that streetlights were basically turned on 24/7. Be it like in the picture to the left at night, let's say from 1 to 5 a.m., where nobody uses them. Or even worse, in our hometown of Eschborn, sometimes they're even turned on during the daytime, where, let's be honest, nobody needs them. So we basically started analyzing this issue. We thought about why is this the case and how heavy does it actually weigh? And we found out that it's a big issue. Basically, streetlights do waste around 50,000 gigawatt hours of electricity, and this each and every single year, and from the EU alone. And to put this into perspective, this is almost the same amount as 10 million households use, or in other terms, basically 10.6 billion euros wasted, which could be invested in so many better areas than outdated streetlights. And in terms of carbon dioxide, it looks even worse. Around 1 million tons are emitted due to old and faulty streetlights not being able to dim themselves. And to put this into other perspectives, around 700,000 cars you could take out of traffic with the snap of a finger. So why is this the case? We found out that regular streetlights, as we all know, are of a binary nature, meaning you can turn them on and turn them off with a central station in most cities. So basically, now do imagine a solution for these outdated streetlights. Introducing the world's first upgrade kit for those streetlights. Nice. So basically, what our technology does is it's a simple upgrade kit. It's a small PCB. As you can see, it gets integrated into this small box right here. It's a small kit. Let me show it to you. It's around credit card size format, and we can integrate it into most existing streetlights. And with the help of a proprietary sensor kit we developed, it enables each and every single streetlight to be easily upgradable with our technology, becoming dimmable according to motion and ambient light detection. What it also does is basically it upgrades the streetlight, making it intelligent. Furthermore, it can communicate with other streetlights. If there's a bicycle coming along, it can tell the others to turn on as well. So that's what we have developed. And now on to Florian.
Thanks, Adrian. So now away from the hardware onto the software. Our secret sauce, the dashboard. So here the municipality can see important informational values, such as the air temperature, the humidity, or the brightness of the streetlight. But most importantly, we have our fault notice system. This means the municipality immediately gets a notification if a streetlight isn't working properly, because not functioning streetlights are a huge safety hazard, not only for the people in the community itself, but also for the city. So we brought the hardware and the software together and developed the streetlight as a service model. This means the city pays a one-time fee of $50 per streetlight and then additionally 1.5 euros per streetlight per month. This results in an ROI starting from just 12 months for the city. This is a number unseen of in the municipal sector. For us, EnvioTech, this means we have an ROI basically from day one. So in the end, we have a win-win-win situation for the city, for us, and for the environment. Now onto a huge market potential. You can see we already have 1 million streetlights in Germany alone, where our device can be put into starting from today, which would give us a revenue of about 23 million euros. This can be scaled up to 1.3 billion euros for all streetlights in Europe and potentially even more. This shows how scalable our solution is. You can see we already have one solid contract with the city of Eschborn and over 20 qualified leads where our product will be put into shortly, and over 100 more interested customers. Thanks. Our journey has been supported by many partners such as Samsung and exposures such as in the Financial Times or the FAZ. We already got to showcase our product at many fairs like the Green Tech Festival or the IFA Berlin. Now back to Adrian.
Thank you. So basically, this is us. We're EnvioTech. We're a team of highly skilled individuals from different backgrounds, as you can see, Deutsche Bank, DWS, and many more, of course. And basically, we combine many different backgrounds from technical and now business from Frankfurt School. And we are very much committed and think that with your help, we can address this very old school market of streetlights and make them intelligent, dimmable, and save so much electricity. So we're looking for 350,000 in early stage funding and are looking for people with interest. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the pitch.
No worries. We have a functioning one. It's upstairs. You can check out our stand. It's intact.
Thanks for the pitch. Hello. Yeah, great solution. Great product, but I think, or I could imagine, it's a very difficult customer base. I mean, you are talking to the cities, like you have one contract with Eschborn already, and for me the big question is, how long is the lead time from the first approach until you sign the contract? So maybe how you can explain to us how long it took for Eschborn.
So basically, we have a good track record looking at municipalities at the moment. Of course, as you say, cities, municipalities are a very static object, so to say. So we have started to diversify our approach, going from B2G, which we still address, but going to B2B. For example, taking Süwag or Süna as an example, they usually have multiple hundred thousands of streetlights in their own system. So basically, they are less static. We can approach them more easily and scale on more easily. But going back to municipalities, it's a difficult market, especially regarding tenders and so on. But because we have these nice competition benefits, for example, we have a very, very good cost effectiveness, meaning we can outweigh basically every other competition in this regard at the moment. So that's how we can have those quick lead times. But we're looking at Eschborn was, I believe, a couple months. But the other people here in the list, it's usually the mayors who have the interest and are pushing this product because it's, as Florian said, a win-win-win. So, yeah.
Thank you.
I would like to ask you how maintenance is working. I understood that the municipal is knowing that the lights are not working properly, but what if your hardware isn't working properly? Is the municipality in charge of it, or is it something that you have to cover?
That's a great question. So basically what we have thought of was providing this product as a streetlight as a service model, which also means that if the device decides to fail and we're very confident in our hardware, we plan on replacing the hardware free of charge for the municipality, and we can afford this due to our business model from ROI on day one. And basically we ship it to them. It's a plug-and-play install, so basically the Stadtwerke can come up to the streetlight, exchange it for the new one. It's a very quick process, and yeah, that's how we plan to mitigate these issues. But regarding the faultiness, basically there are many cities where every, let's say, 8th or 9th streetlight is broken, and with our technology we can address them more quickly, more rapidly, as Florian said.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Florian. Thank you, Adrian. Wow, that's massive. Now, the next startup is named Alpenwuff, and pay attention. First of all, it's the first time in the history of Frankfurt School that a brother and a sister turned founders. But more importantly, if you have a cute dog, pay attention. A big round of applause for Justus.
Thank you very much. So, to start out, for all the dog owners here in the audience, please raise your hand if you have ever experienced any food-related problems, like your dog eating a lot of grass, your dog throwing up, anything such you've ever experienced. And this is actually quite some people. Imagine not everybody here having a dog, and it's actually quite common. So we see, and science sees, that 80% of all the dogs suffer from bad or the wrong nutrition at least once within their life. So it's a huge thing. And this is exactly also where we were. So I'm happy to present you our own dog, Kalu, at 9 months old, super cute. And we had huge problems with his digestions. And I mean, if you love your dog, I love him so much, I even have him on my socks tonight. And it really breaks your heart seeing him suffer. So you try everything, really everything to help him. We tried many different dog foods. You end up with like a bag or 20 bags of open dog foods in your basement. We spent hours and hours and hours on literature to find out the reason why it's not working. And in the end, we even visited 3 different vets, and none of them could really help us with his problems. Until we met Julia. Julia is a biology PhD, dog trainer and dog nutritionist, and she shared the key to the reason with us. Because dog food must be as personal as the dogs themselves. Dogs are individuals, and there are so many different factors. You can see some of them on the slide here, which contribute to the right dog food, and to find this is extremely, extremely hard. And that's exactly where we come in with our offering. So what we do is we create high-quality dog food and then deliver it to you, the right dog food, tailored to your dog's personal needs. So what do we need for this? First of all, we need a range of high-quality dog foods, and we are positioned in the premium segment with clear differentiating factors to all the other brands, while our customers really love our products. We have more than 5,000 customers already. You can see it from the recommendations. They really love it. However, what is the secret sauce behind this? Not only having great product, but our AI nutritionist. This technology is going to help you. First of all, you can chat with him asking, hey, how good is the dog food I'm currently feeding? He's going to give you an analysis based on our database with proprietary build. He's going to also ask you about symptoms, which are usually happening when there's a food-related problem. And in the end, it's going to make you a personal recommendation based on your dog's needs. And it's going to be a subscription, because how we grew, and after really finding this discovery, after finding this secret sauce, we were able to scale our ARR from about 100K to now more than 740K within a year, so more than 5x our ARR. And what's still, or at the same time, really important to us is this efficiency behind it. Because our retention data, compared, for example, to HelloFresh, which you probably all know, we have 5 times higher retention, almost 5 times higher retention than HelloFresh. So the customers find a product they can actually take for a long, long time. And talking about efficiency, we've reached those 740K in ARR with only 2 people. Only my sister Leah and myself scaled this up to 740K ARR. Our first employee is actually right here. It was his first month now. Second employee is starting in April. And this efficiency is key to us. We're bootstrapped, we're profitable. However, looking at this market opportunity, I think it would be foolish not to invest right now. So there's 1 billion euro of dog food sold over the internet every year in Germany. The dog food market in Germany is a 5 billion euro industry, and in all of Europe, it's a $41 billion or euro industry. So it's massive, and now it's time to grab our market share. That's why we're raising 600K to reach 25 million euro in revenue by 2027. Feel free to come by at our stand. We have a lot of samples, and now I'm happy to take your questions. Thank you.
Impressive traction, especially for a sustainable company. But out there are many competitors. I think Bello just raised 5 million, Austrian company. Vetbed also raised some millions some years ago. So what's the difference to your platform?
Yeah, it's a very, very good question. I don't know how many of you have ever been to a Fressnapf. You go in there, there's like 50 different brands. So it's a very, very crowded market. So it's not going to be enough to only offer a good product, because there are many good products on the market, but you actually have to make it super easy for the customer to find the right one, because they go to vets. They're going to ask anybody, hey, what can I do to solve the problem? And we make it really easy to do this. At the same time, this kind of our bottom funnel, what I showed, the AI nutritionist. And another secret sauce number 2, you could say, is the upper funnel aspect, because with this efficiency, you can usually not get with like doing social media and so on. But we've built an expert network of more than 350 veterinarians, dog trainers, dog breeders. who send us the customers, because where are you going to if you have a problem? You're going to ask your vet, you're going to ask your dog trainer where you go every week, and they send us their customers because they want to help them, and we really have this helpful mindset. So telling them, okay, if your dog has, for example, I know it's really hyperactive, this and this are the parameters you have to look for, and maybe we have the right product, but maybe have a look at other products as well. But that's the point where the customer really wants to take the easy choice, so takes our product, tests it, and then sticks with us.
And as I've understood it, you produced your own food then. In terms of scaling your business, how do you ensure that the quality of the pet food is still very good, and who are your partners and where are they?
Yeah, that's also a very, very good question. So how do we produce? We are having our own recipes, which we developed, and then we have chosen a couple of production partners. We have pretty special production processes, which can't be, or is not available at many factories in Germany, but they're for the cold press or the dry kibble side, there are like 5 different factories. We all know them really well, know the bosses, etc. So we have to be in contact with them. At the same time, on the wet pet food side, you also have to build the contacts. It's bio-certified, so like 2-3 plants in Germany, but really building a diversified supplier network. That's important. Right now, we have like one for the dry pet food and one for the wet one, but we're in contact with all the others. I mean, if one is like can't ship you anything, you will need to have contacts with the others for sure. So it's a very important thing to not be dependent.
I think I have time for one more question, if there are any.
Yeah, I have one. Raising 600K, so for what? Because my understanding was like, for example, like social media advertising or other advertising in magazines is not your thing. You're going via the dog trainers and everything, for example. So will you need to build a larger sales force to tackle other countries, or what is your plan to do with the 600?
Yeah, very good question. What about the use of funds? So what do we need the 600K for? 200K of those 600K going to go into product development, because we've built our product range, but there are more supplementary products which we can build in order to help the customers with their problems, basically. You have a dog with diarrhea, you probably need a Darmaufbaukur, I don't know how it's called in English. But building this, creating this, going to cost some money. So this is one part. And the second one is, yeah, exactly how you said, building up the sales force. Because, for example, you've seen the AI nutritionist up there, but still there needs to be a human in the loop, because if there's an edge case, you're not 100% sure, you need to get in the human, get the feedback, and to acquire those new customers, we have to build up our team. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Justus. And our next Fibon founder has made a bold leap from a high-earning career in private equity to a much leaner lifestyle and no suits at the office, but with something that makes it all worthwhile. Please welcome the last pitch of this evening and the very patient Katharina.
Thanks. Raise your hand if you know what a private energy hub is, and if you can explain it in one sentence. Okay, neither can I, but I will try my best, because we need much more local green energy, and these hubs are absolutely key to making that happen. And that is exactly why we at wattwise bring you private energy hubs on autopilot. How do these hubs work? Well, they enable anyone producing renewable energy, for example, from a solar panel on your roof, to sell excess energy to another member of the hub. So in essence, they enable local energy trading, making green power much more accessible and also valuable for everyone. And they're doing this via the public grid, so no hardware necessary. Why isn't everyone doing it then? Well, if Martin and I start a lovely energy hub, we have a lot of operational tasks to take care of. We have to add new members, we have to track our energy flows, we have to do all the billing and invoicing, and we have a lot of data to take care of. Currently, people usually use the classic Excel, but it is very, very time consuming. And so we need a much more efficient, scalable solution. And in fact, just like traditional grid operators have their own back office, private hubs also need a proper back office. And so introducing, ta-da, wattwise, our software takes care of it all. That means super easy energy tariff setting, automated accounting, document management, member on and offboarding, and data and analytics analysis. In fact, we are that missing back office for private energy hubs. How do we make money? We help people set up new hubs, charging a setup fee of 6,000 to 20,000 euros. And then for ongoing operations, we charge 25 euros per member per year, also to existing energy communities. The exciting thing is that these hubs grow organically, so we're generating more revenue through them without any additional customer acquisition costs. And in 3 years, 90% of our revenue from these two streams will come from this recurring subscription fee. Due to EU legislation, the number of energy hubs is absolutely skyrocketing, and the European market is predicted to be worth roughly 5.2 billion euros by 2030. So only 4% market share, we're talking potential revenue of 208 million euros. And then of course that's just the start, because all of this sits within the 10 billion euro market of energy data and analytics, and on top of that, the global decentralized energy market worth 100 billion by 2030. Why are we special? So we have traditional energy providers over here, and then we have energy software, other way around, energy software providers over there. We sit right in the middle, bridging this gap. Of course, we're not the only ones in this space, but we are the only ones offering very scalable, also white label solution, enabling our B2B partners to actually run their own energy hubs. And we use continuous A/B testing for absolutely optimized user experience. Who is we? So we have Flo, our energy nerd, myself, background from Frankfurt School, also in VC and consulting, Julian, our coding guru, and then our IT master and advisor, Dennis, as well as 3 freelance coders. We started wattwise in October. Zoom, fast forward to today. We are working with over 20 energy hubs, comprising 600 households, and have generated initial revenue of 14,000 euros. By the end of June, we want to have onboarded 100 hubs, but that is only the beginning, because this market is growing so fast. We want to grow even faster, and we really want to scale up quick and grab market share, and that is why we're raising 500K at the moment to scale our product development, optimize our go-to-market strategy, and monetize all this energy data we generate along the way. So with that, all that's left to say is, will you join us? And if you will, or you think you just might, please come find us at our stall afterwards, or just send me an email at porenta@wattwise.at. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the great pitch, really good.
Thanks.
Question on, so the existing like modus operandus is like using the Excel. But for who, like, do you actually solve the problem of using Excel? Like, who do you sell to initially?
So the problem is had by the people running this hub. So if, as I said, we too start an energy hub, we have to use Excel to, for example, do all this billing and all this management. And that is our initial customer, these existing communities actually. We also help communities start up, but that is obviously not as scalable. So we really want to focus on, in Austria, 5 energy communities 2022, now 6,000, over 6,000. And it's working much better than we anticipated, to be honest. We had a sales call yesterday, for example. It was just an intro call, and by the end of it, the guy was like, send me everything. I'm going to sign it. I want to get onto the software. He was having a beer during the call, so he might have been more excited than usually. But it just shows that it is an actual problem, and it's a great thing to have that.
It's essentially the people use the Excel tool themselves to figure out like who's going to pay whom for what, for sharing the energy. Yeah. But then how's the grid operator coming into this for like when you actually want to share the energy, how like who makes sure that the energy arrives at the right person?
It's a very good question. It's a very technical question. Let's talk about it more in detail with Flo afterwards. But basically, the grid operator doesn't come into it. So this energy community, energy hub framework is basically enabled by the European Union. It's going to come in all the member states. And you usually get about 30% of your energy from the energy hub, and the rest, 70%, you get from your normal grid operator.
I think I have time for one more question.
So this is very Austria-specific at the moment, or can we do that here in Germany as well?
Austria, for once in my lifetime, I am from Austria, is at the front of the development at this European phenomenon. But as I said, it's actually part of the Renewable Energy Directive 2 of the European Union, and every member state has to implement legislation that allows these frameworks. Of course, this is a little bit of a risk for us because every member state can implement it a bit differently, but we're also working with an international law firm that has presences all over Europe who can really help us overcome these little differences, and our software is very adaptable, so we can really adapt to every different EU member state.
Great. Well, thank you, Catherine.
Thank you.
Now, please stay seated while I invite Ram and the jury to talk about the winners. I actually have an experiment for all of you to participate in, so don't leave yet. This is the first time in the history of Frankfurt School that once you vote for the crowd favorite, you can vote both for a startup or against a startup. It's a so-called quadratic voting system, and here's how it works. So you have 99 voting points in total, and if you want to vote more, you simply tap the button a little more often. But beware, the more extreme your view is, the more expensive it becomes. So every time you tap one extra time, the view grows, and you have a fixed number of votes. So I think you're going to be able to see a cartoon followed by a QR code. And by the way, the winner of this gets to go on the FS podcast reserved for the most astounding alumni projects. So there are still a few minutes left for us to find out the winners, so you still have time to participate in the voting, which was made by an FS alumni actually, so that's another motivation to give it a try.
READO is the winner.
READO is the winner. Okay.
France will click on the slide.
What's going on here? Just announce it, it's alright.
Hello? Hello? Yes. We have some technicalities. A moment of attention, please. We know who the winner is, and the winner for the crowd vote is READO. Round of applause. Okay. Yes. In just a few minutes, we will know the winners, so please stay seated. One more round of applause, please. Sure.
Yeah, the interview was not on, so I couldn't switch the slides, so I had to go back. But I showed it now. Yeah, but now the podcast, so someone will say something about it, or? Which one? Yeah, I don't know if someone wants to say something about it.
Yeah, okay. By the way, one more moment of attention. This is the launched Frankfurt School Entrepreneurship Center podcast. I think there's already one episode there. Please scan this as well, because you're going to get access to amazing startups that are linked with the Entrepreneurship Center. It's very interesting to listen about how startups made their journeys. Feel free to make photos. John.
Okay, sorry it took so long. It was really, really, really close. Who was the crowd favorite? READO. Wow, congratulations, guys. Woo! Seriously, I never had it that I come to a demo day and I don't have a clear picture of who I would put my money on. And they didn't believe me. We were sitting upstairs, going through the decks and everything, and I said, I really don't know. And when what we did inside, they each took a piece of paper and wrote first and second place, and then let's see if we have consensus, and we didn't. So I was like, oh shit, how are we gonna... So I let them start arguing it, but they came to a consensus. And thank you very, very much for your patience. So we're going to start. Christian, I want to invite you to hand over the money, the prize money. Yes, this is prize number 2. That's 2. And you will. I will call in the startup. We will all clap, but then I want to hear from the jury, why did you select them as the second place? So the second prize, lift it up, please, this one. You can only screw that up, right?
Ooh,
wattwise. Woo! Yes. We will do a picture, but Kara, actually, wattwise was one of your choices. Why?
So, well, first of all, congratulations to the team. Amazing. And I mean, I've stumbled across the topic of energy hubs, energy communities, maybe once or twice before. It always sounded very complex, but I think I've never heard it, so easy today in the pitch. So I think you really broke the topic down very well. You have a sort of solid, business model to tackle. You have, achieved very much in a very little time. Seeing the traction already on your product is quite impressive. We've heard good things from, FS Entrepreneurship Center themselves. You seem to be a great team, very complementary skill set. And I think, you have, the right skills and now hopefully the money to tackle this big problem. And I think you're in the right spot in Austria where this topic is really taking off. So, I wish you all the best. And, congratulations.
Let's do a picture. Very good. You have it, cameraman?
Thanks to all the mentors who told me when I didn't explain it so well before. It paid off.
All right, so we are... Can you hear me? Yeah, go ahead. Okay, hold on. Okay, I know we're thirsty. It's been, again, a very, very tough decision. I think 2 of the jury were really set dead on this, so I will invite one of those 2 to also explain why we chose this winner. But yes, Christian, go ahead. Who is it?
Well, let's...
READO! READO! Congratulations. Well done. Yeah, so Jonas, why READO?
Yeah, so congratulations to READO and also all the others. I think overall there have been great pitches tonight. I think also from the pitching part itself with the problem description and what you guys are tackling. So also to all the others, I would say congratulations for presenting today, and there will be more pitch sessions coming. Yeah, we really liked READO because I think the market you are tackling, what you have achieved, I think it's impressive that you have 140K users without any marketing spend so far, and also the plan for you that you want to move forward with in going internationally and by going with the influencer model, talking about the books, we really feel that it can become the Netflix of books of the future, yeah, and that's why we chose it. Yeah.
Any words?
Yeah, thank you very much for the feedback. Also, thanks to you for this lovely vote. We really appreciate this. For us, it's really tough to pitch the book market, right? Because there are so many different media startups nowadays and nobody's thinking about books anymore. And when we usually talk to people and say, yeah, we built a platform for books, it's always, oh, who's going to read nowadays? So it's really appreciative to get this great feedback tonight. And thanks to RAM and the Great Entrepreneurship Center. It's been a great pleasure. And we're very much looking forward to seeing you on the platform as well.
Cool. Okay. So the startups are going to have stalls outside. For those also who didn't win, there's still people and network here. Don't go yet. All the startups with the checks, we're going to do a big group photo. The mentors, please also come with us to be a group photo. Bastian, thank you for the keynote. Christian, thank you for the welcoming note. Yes. And I have to give a shout out to one university from my hometown. The dean is here, one of the top universities in entrepreneurship, Reichmann. Thank you, Yossi, for being here. Picture.
My soul.